my name is Samantha. I'm 16 years old, and this is a story of my dream quince. Ever since I was little, I knew I wanted my quince theme to be Paris. I had never even considered any other themes besides Paris, and even though we had never been there, I just love the whole Parisian theme. 6 months prior to my quince, my mom had actually came up with the craziest idea to take my quince photos in Paris. It was super unplanned, and she had actually found a photographer on Instagram, and we instantly fell in love with her photos, and we knew it was something that we wanted to do. My dad was actually super unsure of the idea. He thought me and my mom were crazy because he was like, no one's ever done something like that before. But with a little convincing from my mom and I, we convinced him to let him take us to Paris to take these photos. I actually ended up taking 2 dresses to Paris. The first one was my pink one, and it was your more like regular traditional quince dress. And the second one was a Mexican themed dress that was actually given to me by a designer named Omid. The only struggles we really had with this whole process was we were actually supposed to have the photo shoot the day before we actually did because it rained. So I was super nervous that it was gonna rain the day we had actually rescheduled to do the photo shoot again. Another struggle was, of course, it's the Eiffel Tower. It gets super packed with tourists, and other people have already planned to do photo shoots. So the photographer had told us to be in front of the Eiffel Tower at 6 a.m. and I still had to do my own hair and my own makeup, and we had to transfer all the dresses. So it was just a super stressful experience. A super memorable experience from taking my photos in Paris was a super cool interaction I had with a lot of tourists that were there. One mom had actually came up to me and she asked if her daughter could take a picture with me, and at first I was a little bit confused, but then I had to realize I'm wearing this huge dress, and I stood out so much in the crowd. I explained to her a little bit about what a quince actually was, and it was super cool for them to understand why I was in Paris and why I was taking these photos, and the purpose of the big dress and everything. The first location we actually went to was my absolute favorite. It was where you can see the Eiffel Tower from every single view. It was these beautiful steps, and we took so many good pictures there. That's where some of my favorites are. And the second location was a little bit down those stairs, and there's actually a carousel in front of the Eiffel Tower, and I was told to get on the horse and it would spin, and the photographer was just taking so many photos, and that was also a super cool location to take photos at. And the third location we went to was the Louvre, and the photographer knew of this secret little garden area in front of the Louvre, and so we went in there, and the pictures were absolutely beautiful, the location was beautiful, and we saw so many more tourists there, and that was so cool. Not only was it a super surreal moment for me, but it was also really emotional. My whole family was getting emotional. We just couldn't believe we were actually doing something this iconic. I knew I had always wanted a quince just to carry on the tradition from my mom and my grandma. My mom had a huge quince with almost 500 people, so that kind of motivated me to want to have one just as big and amazing as hers was. Planning my quince with my mom was the most incredible experience ever. She let me have my input on everything, and we agreed on almost all the planning and all the decorations. So everything went by super smooth, and I'm so happy that I was able to plan the whole party with her. My mom is literally my favorite person ever. She's my best friend. We do everything together. I tell her everything. All my friends love her. They see her as a mom as well, and I'm so happy that I was able to have this whole experience with her, and I just love her so much. What made the morning a little bit less stressful was typically quinceañeras have their mass the day of their party in the morning, but I chose to have my mass a week prior because it was my birthday and I wanted it to be just a little bit more private, and that just made the whole morning a lot less stressful. Another thing that also made the morning a little bit less stressful was I had chosen to do my own makeup just because I feel I know how my face works. I don't really trust that many other people with my makeup, so I just knew I wanted to do it on my own, and that just made the whole morning a lot more easier. I actually do cheerleading for my high school, and that really helped a lot with the stress during the planning of my quince, and coincidentally, a lot of the girls on my cheer team became some of my super good friends, and I actually was able to incorporate them into my courts. I actually never planned on having a large core. I always knew I was going to have a small one since from the planning of my quince, but I think it was just the transition from middle school to high school. I had met all these amazing people and we all clicked so amazing, and it just felt right to include all of them in my quince core, and they all wanted to be a part of it. So the outcome was 11 couples of chambelanes and damas. My main chambelán was actually my mom's best friend's son, and he's a family friend of ours. We've known him for a long time, ever since I was little, so it really meant a lot to me that he was my main chambelán for my quince. The coolest part was the morning of my quince when we had chosen to go to a chicken finger place in my city, and it's my favorite fast food place of all time, and I got the idea because I had seen that a lot of girls the morning of, they take their courts to like fast food places or drink places that they like, and if anyone knows that place, they know it gets super packed. So it was super hilarious just to like have all these people looking at me and to like walk in the restaurant with like this huge dress and like 22 other people, but it was such a memorable experience and I'm definitely never gonna forget that. Walking into the venue the day of my quince was probably the most surreal moment from the whole party. It's just so crazy because you plan for so long of how things are gonna look, but it's not until that final moment that you see the whole outcome of your party. And just to see like all the ideas that me and my mom had come up with, from the dessert table, the flowers, the photos, and like the big screen above the DJ, like just seeing everything come together was such an amazing feeling. In total, we had 350 guests. That included all of my friends and all of my family, and I was so happy that we were able to find a place that could include everyone I loved. Something I was super excited for was a lot of my family and friends actually hadn't known we went to Paris to take photos prior to the actual day of the party. So I was super excited for people to walk in and like see the 2 blow-up pictures that me and my mom were gonna put in the entrance, and we had put little photos from the photo shoot on every table, and the DJ had a slideshow playing of the whole entire photo shoot, and it was so cool for my family and friends to see this like super awesome thing that I got to experience. I was actually super nervous for the grand entrance of my party, just because that's the moment where like everyone's gonna be looking at me, and the dress was so huge. I was like, oh my god, I'm literally gonna trip and face plant, but none of that happened. It went super smooth, and all of my court also got introduced, and they all got to do like their own cute little poses on the center of the dance floor, and everyone loved how the grand entrance ended up coming out. For my waltzes, I actually had 2. The first one was your traditional quince waltz, which included my entire court, and the second one was just my chambelanes and me, and it was where I wore my Mexican style dress, and we actually danced to it live with the mariachi. Another super memorable moment for my party was while the mariachi was playing live, I got to dance with all of my uncles and my cousins and my 2 grandpas and my step-grandpa, and that was just a super intimate moment between me and them, and they all told me such like lovely things, and I'm gonna remember that forever. I think something that really stressed me out like during the party was having to change the dresses. Anyone knows that has ever put a quince dress on, it is not easy. It was just such a mess. Like, it was so hot. I was so worried about like messing up my makeup or my hair, and I actually had to have like my damas come in and help me put it on, just because putting it on was super difficult. And then I was just really stressed out because I knew like once I had put that dress on, I had to take it off and put the other one back on. So just that whole moment was really stressful for me. The highlight of my party definitely had to be the father-daughter dance, which my brother was also included in. It was like by far the best thing about my party. It couldn't have gone any better. It was super funny because we actually hadn't like planned it. We didn't really have like choreo, I guess you could say. We were just like, you know what, we love this song. We literally dance to it all the time, even at home. So we just wanted to go out and just wing it, I guess. My relationship with my dad is unlike anything ever. Just like my mom, we're literally best friends. We do everything together. I share so many special memories and moments with him, and I just love him so much. So I only have one sibling, and that's actually my brother. We're super close. We're also literally best friends, and he's always working behind the scenes, and he's literally helping me film this thing right now. And it makes me super happy also that he was involved in the planning, because I feel like brothers don't get so involved with their sister's quinces, but my brother took just as much part as everyone else did in planning, and he was also part of my court, which made things super fun. After the father-daughter dance and all the waltzes, it sounds kind of funny, but I was actually super excited to cut the cake just because me and my mom really wanted this cake to be a main attraction for the party, and we really wanted everyone to see it and be like, oh my god, your cake is gorgeous. I absolutely loved the way the cake turned out. From the way the lady designed it, it was just so spot on and so perfect, and even better than I could have imagined. To end the quince, of course, everyone dances, and that was such another surreal moment for me. I remember the DJ telling everyone to come to the dance floor to take a picture, and I just remember turning around and seeing all these people, and it's just such a good feeling to know that all these people came to support me and celebrate me on my birthday, and that just meant everything to me. I'm so grateful that everyone was able to attend, and it just meant so much to me. This was definitely my dream quinceañera. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment down below your favorite part of my quince, and most importantly, don't forget to subscribe. Bye!